Now, you will notice a through line through all of this, and it's the left has to lie. The left has to lie, subvert, and basically manipulate to survive. It is not actually an ideology that can exist naturally because it is not natural. It doesn't believe in reality. Doesn't believe in having families and raising children to follow these values. They don't even want you to have children. All right, so it purely needs to exist through this nebulous state of trickery and confundedness. That's exactly what happened today in Virginia. So Donald Trump made this tweet, and I'm going to show you what happened, because this is one of the most, in my opinion, anti-democratic things I've ever seen in my entire life. And in my opinion, also illegal, which currently the courts are trying to strike it down. But anyway, you have to see this. It's insane. Donald Trump tweeted, "A rigged election took place last night in the great Commonwealth of Virginia. All day long, Democrats were winning. Their spirit was unbelievable until at the very end, when, of course, there was a massive mail-in ballot drop. Where have I heard that before? And the Democrats eked out another crooked victory. 6-5 goes to 10-1. I'll show you what he's referring to in a second. And yet the presidential election in November was very close to a 50-50 split. In addition to everything else, the language on the referendum was purposely unintelligible and deceptive, and I will show that to you in just a minute as well. As everyone knows, I am an extraordinarily brilliant person. Yep, and even I had no idea what the hell they were talking about at the referendum, and neither do they. Let's see if the court will fix this travesty of justice. They're currently trying. All right, so I'm going to give you the deep dive on what's actually going on. This is one of the craziest situations I think we've ever seen just happen just so openly in front of our eyes. Democrats huddling together like a bundle of sticks, the way they always have. So, to understand, Virginia voters have passed a new congressional map expecting to give 10 seats to Democrats and 1 seat to Republicans. So, this is Virginia's old congressional district map, or, you know, the one that it used to be, where you have District 9 over here, 6 over here, 5 over here, 2 over here. Cool stuff, right? So, essentially, it was 6 to Democrat and 5 to Republicans. Very cool. Anyway, they recently did a vote. This is pretty awesome. And they're redistricting it to this. They're just making District 9 massive, fucking huge, cutting into every different crevice they possibly can. And, oh, that's the Republican one. Oh, and I guess all the other ones are majority Democrat now. And that is exactly what we're dealing with right now in Virginia. They are voted to redistrict the map to basically give 10 districts to Democrats and 1 to Republicans. Now, why would they do this? It's obviously not fair or representative. They know, obviously. They fucking hate you. They hate your country. They don't believe in democracy. They don't believe in the values they claim to espouse. They call themselves the Democrats, and they're anti-democratic in every possible way. They only want power. All right? They are a subversive entity. They are the demons of Freeran. They use words to control you. They scream about democracy and fascism when Donald Trump is doing literally fucking anything. Right? Donald Trump brushes his teeth and it's fascism. These people redistrict a 50-50 Republican to Democrat split state into 1 district for Republicans and 10 for Democrats. All right. Now, this should make you really fucking angry. Because I have to show you what everyone said. I have to show you how Obama got involved. It's like, you know, Republicans win an election. It's a threat to democracy. Virginia's vote to remove the rights of 49% of the people in the state, and it's a victory for democracy. I hope you see how this goes. Even CNN is condemning them. All right, so Dems now control 90% of districts in a state they only won by 5% for the sake of fairness. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that nice? Look at that. Look how they fucking did this. They made this 1 district in order to make sure that, you know, they wouldn't be able to win this district or this district. It's just the most evil shit in the world. It really is, obviously, evil as fuck. Now, I have opinions on democracy in general, which obviously people tune in to watch this channel, not only because I am glib at the downfalls of my enemies, but also because my opinions are all correct. Well, maybe not correct, but they're all at least thought out. Now, they might not be correct, but they're thought out. I think democracy's fucking bullshit. You know who else did? The founding fathers. Our country was never built as a democracy. It's always been a republic. All right? It's never supposed to be a democracy. Democracy means the dipshits out that get propagandized by the fucking George Soroses manage to outvote you in literally everything. A constitutional republic means that only certain people that meet certain qualifications should vote as they should. Now, what should those qualifications be? Landowners, couples with heterosexual couples with children, net positive taxpayers. I could give you multiple examples as to what the people that pass a specific test to prove that they actually know what the fuck they're voting on. You know, I could give you a whole lot of examples as to what I think would be a much fairer way to make this republic. But the idea that every single fucking retard gets a vote on how they could sodomize us. I think it's absolutely diabolical in every possible way. So I am actually anti-democracy. Don't get me wrong. I think democracy is bullshit. And there's a reason why that, you see many different systems of law show up in the Bible, for example. None of it was democracy. So yeah, anyway, the leftoids, the Democrats, claim to care about democracy. Everyone should have an opinion. Even the Nigerian rapists should be able to vote. All right, we know the Democrat opinion. Now, anyway, Virginia in 2024 was 52% Kamala, 47% Trump. Virginia for redistricting was 51% yes, 49% no. And now the new congressional seats are 91% Democrats, 9% Republicans. Look how fucking crazy that is. Oh my God. This should literally shock the shit out of you. Leaving Democrats with 10 House seats and Republicans with only 1. It's truly evil, honestly. Texas Republicans take 73% of the districts in a state they won by 15%. Media, fascism. Virginia Democrats take 91% of the district in a state that they won by 5%. Media, democracy. And this is what we need to deal with. We need to deal with the biggest psyop of all time. Here we have 51% of voters taking away 100% of the rights of 49% of the voters. Democracy! This is the correct opinion, and this is why socialism is evil and theft. All right, because socialism essentially is the fact that these dipshits that don't have a job, that are unemployed, they're fucking retarded. Some of them aren't, but most of them are. All right, and I'm just objectively, most people in America that are living on the street are fucking retards. All right, I'm sorry if that offends you. You are the minority if you are not retarded. We are the richest civilization that ever existed in the history of planet Earth. But there's wealth inequality. That is correct. A billionaire lives in a mansion while you live in a 2-bedroom apartment. The wealth inequality a couple hundred years ago was the billionaire lived in a palace and you died of measles on flea bottom eating old potato peels. Socialism just basically means a lot of retards vote to steal your shit, and now you have to give it to them or they'll kill you. That's socialism. Now, 5 districts in Virginia now start in this circle, tentacles from D.C. reaching across the state. If you actually look at the gerrymandering, just look at how evil it is. If this doesn't just prove to you how evil it is, it's insane. So this is obviously D.C. Now, if you look at this map, you'll notice what used to be decently cut out areas, I guess, still not great. Now is this. Now is this fucking bullshit. This actual bullshit. What is that, dude? What is this? That's crazy, bro. That's insane. Oh, my God. Scott Jennings dropped a truth nuke on CNN.
Scott, what's your take?
Virginia literally had the fairest maps in the nation. They had a 6-5 map, 6 Democrats, 5 Republicans. In terms of proportional representation, they had the fairest map in the nation that was drawn, by the way, by an independent commission that the voters asked for just a few years ago. Now they will have the least fair maps in the nation. And I'm not surprised that the yes vote won. They had all the money and all the lies.
That's right.
And sometimes in politics, what do you get?
Let's be honest. The left doesn't vote for fairness. They vote for power. That's always been that way. And the right does too, to be fair. I'm not trying to make that's not a partisan issue. Everyone votes because they want power. But essentially, there's no justice on the left. All right. And then they'll use all of your words against you. I thought you cared about democracy. I don't. I thought you cared about racism. Yeah, not really. I don't really care about that so much either. I thought you cared about free speech. Yeah, well, when you're supporting terrorist organizations and you're a foreigner, I still want you to get deported. I actually don't care. Like the weapons, the lies, they don't work on people that actually know what they're talking about.
You got those two things. You can put something over the line. Even something as egregious as this. This whole thing has driven Spamberger's approval ratings down into the toilet. She lied to the people of Virginia. They had to write a ballot question that was a joke. They drew maps that were a joke. Now you're going to have huge chunks of rural Virginia represented by 5 or 6 Democrats who all live in northern Virginia within about 15 miles of each other.
That's right. That's right. So a couple of guys are all going to live here in this little tiny area over here, and these guys are going to be the representatives of these people living in farms over here. All right, so all the people here are going to be controlled and represented by a couple of dipshits here. Isn't that incredible?
Each other. It's a complete joke. Everybody knows it. And there's a reason that all these national Democrats and all their money came into Virginia because, they don't really care about the people of Virginia. They just care about power. They did. What I have a problem with in Virginia is you had a fair map, and you also had an independent commission draw it, and you also had the new governor, tell the people of Virginia during her campaign she wasn't going to do it. So this whole thing was built on lies.
Yep.
And the ballot question, if you read it, was a total joke.
Yep.
You showed the map of the districts. They're a complete joke. And so I think what they've done is they basically disenfranchised 90% of the state.
Yeah, it is literally against democracy. Even CNN is like in shock. It is against democracy. In order to get, you got 51% of the people to vote to take the rights away from another 49% of the people. It's truly incredible stuff. It really is. It's wild. All right. Now, Fox News obviously was even less kind than CNN, as they should have been.
Fox News alert. According to the AP, voters in Virginia have approved Democrats' plan to gerrymander congressional districts 50 to 49. This could flip 4 House seats from Republican control to Democrats.
Yeah, so obviously not good, but also retarded. Now, Barack Obama, and this is incredible, says, "Congratulations, Virginia. Republicans are trying to tilt the midterm elections in their favor, but they haven't done it yet. Thanks for showing us what it looks like to stand up for our democracy and fight back." This is the most anti-democratic shit of all time. It's crazy. All right. Meanwhile, 5 seconds ago, for way too long, gerrymandering has contributed to the stalled process and warped representative government. Redistricting begins next year. Let's do our part to protect and restore democracy. Let's not gerrymander, guys. Let's not do that. That's bad. Anyway, congratulations, Virginia, on voting to redistrict the map in the most bullshit way possible, where now you have 91% Democrats representing 51% Democrats. It's honestly insane. And then, like, I love how these guys are like, you stood up for democracy and made the most undemocratic map in the history of our nation. All right, like these people, they're so forward in the way they want to actually use this communist tactic to take over our country. All right, Virginia, today is the day you vote to redistrict. Make sure to vote yes. All right, so you got Obungus. All right, Barunkus Obungus just saying yes. Okay, just say vote yes. All right, now, what are they voting for, though? Well, we'll get to that. Don't worry. Kamala Harris, who they're also astroturfing right now because it looks like they're going to try to have her run again. Donald Trump and Republicans have tried to rig the 2026 midterms. Literally how? Today in Virginia, voters sent them a clear message that you could steal congressional seats if you're a slimy shitbag. All right. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris said this just a couple of months ago. Politicians shouldn't be able to pick their voters. Voters should choose their representatives. The Supreme Court's gerrymandering decision will have drastic consequences for the future of our nation. As president, banning partisan gerrymandering will be a top priority. So this is in 2019, talking about how they're going to fight against gerrymandering. Well, they don't care about that anymore, it seems. Now they just want power, like always. All right, so this is what Obama basically said. Congratulations, Virginia. You disenfranchised virtually every Republican at the congressional level. Democracy! That's how it works, man. That's how it works. You get a bunch of blue retards and they vote to remove your rights. Understand that this is where it's headed everywhere. All right, now there's another very, very fundamental part to this. Well, aside from all of them lying, obviously.
By ending some of the partisan gerrymandering so that all voters have the power to choose their politicians, not the other way around.
Well, he didn't care about that, actually. None of that mattered to him at all. All right, and that is the new gerrymander map, bro.
Map would likely mean Democrats would control 10 of 11 districts in Virginia. We at Fox spoke with voters across the Commonwealth, and they tell us they are split over this decision to redraw.
Yeah, no shit. Anyway, look at this fucking lobster that they drew over here instead. That's crazy. Anyway, Florida, the greatest fucking state of all time. Florida, the Giga Chads, decided, you know what? We're going to fight back. We're going to gerrymander the fucking shit out of Florida.
Has compact districts. It's done in a way that makes a lot of sense. And the reality is if you look at like California, you know, they're doing all this dog and pony show there now, saying, oh, Texas, we've got to combat Texas. California is one of the worst gerrymandered maps there is. You know, what they did, this is how they do. They're like, no, we're going to do an independent commission. So they do a commission. The problem is, it's like, if you truly were independent, it's like you would be immune to any type of partisan pressures. But that commission is comprised of liberal Democrats, liberal independents, and very liberal Republicans. I think one of the Republicans is from Berkeley, like not exactly a hotbed of Reagan conservatism. It's just, it is what it is. So they hotwired that independent commission to produce a map that was very much gerrymandered and was not something that was fair to Republicans, even at that time. Now they're saying they want to do even more by doing whatever they're talking about doing now. So don't buy this notion that if someone has a commission, that somehow means it is immune from this type of partisan pressures.
He's just completely right. So it's official. Now Florida has a chance to redistrict 1 week from tonight after Virginia did their ridiculous map. Special session convenes in 7 days. All right. So it looks like this is actually going to it looks like this might happen. We might end up with like fucking retard politics of both sides just drastically doing the most heinous shit possible to, you know, maintain control. Now, of course, Hakeem Jeffries freaks out about this. Leader Jeffries and Republicans trying to gerrymander Florida after their resounding defeat in Virginia redistricting referendum. If Florida Republicans proceed with this illegal scheme, they will only create more prime pickup opportunities for Democrats. We are prepared to take them on all everywhere. We will win. Warfare all over the place, all the time. All right, so the Floridians are considering redistricting to this. Oh my god. This is retard situation, man. These people are fucking horrible. It's crazy. All right, so anyway, it gets worse. Top Democrat political campaign strategist James Carville just stated on the left-wing Polycon podcast, when the Democrats regain power, they plan to grant statehood to Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico, so the Democrats can unlock 4 extra seats in the Senate, pack the U.S. Supreme Court with 9 justices and 13 justices, adding another 4 left-wing justices to the court, reopen the U.S.-Mexico border, grant mass amnesty to every single alien currently inside the United States. His advice to Democrat politicians: don't run on it, don't talk about it, just do it. And this is seemingly exactly what these people are trying to do, because they hate America and because they want to completely destroy us and control us. So whenever I see a dipshit, and yes, a dipshit, saying, oh, we have to teach the Republicans a lesson, we need to vote Democrat, this is what they're doing. They are trying to put people into power that would rape our country into complete and utter unrecognizable bullshit. All right? Like, they would destroy us. This is an existential battle. It really is. All right? This is how the Democrats decided to take full control of the state government in 2026.
Virginia is officially cooked because the state now holds a brand new Democrat government trifecta, which means the Democrats control the government's office, the state Senate, and the House of Delegates. And on top of that, Virginia just got a new governor, Abigail Spanberger. What a name. And oh my god, they wasted no time, because they just introduced a host of new bills that'll make your head spin. Keep in mind, the Democrats have full control of the state government, so keep that in your noggin while I read these out. They want a new sales tax on Uber Eats, Amazon, and deliveries, a new
more taxes so they can give it to illegal aliens.
Sales tax on admission to a wide variety of businesses.
Huge. Somalia did need more money.
2 new higher tax brackets on people making over $600,000 a year.
Of course, you should not be working to actually succeed in this country. You should be working to infinitely pay migrants.
10% tax bracket for anyone making over $1 million. A 3.8 investment tax on top of state income tax. Ooh, the people making money ain't gonna like that one. Raise the hotel tax. New property tax on landscape equipment. A ban on gas-powered leaf blowers.
That's right, no gas. No gas, we have to be gay. We have to have windmills and faggots everywhere, all right? It seems like George Soros-linked networks funneled $64 million into Virginia's redistricting referendum through groups with no IRS filings on record. Of course. So, you know, everyone's saying, oh, Elon Musk, the richest man in the world. Bernie Sanders, the richest man in the world. He's fighting on the side of Donald Trump. The oligarchy is so dangerous. The oligarchy is so dangerous. Excuse me. You have $64 million that went into stealing a state, bro, and it's so bad because it also seems like it was rigged. Now, Donald Trump called it rigged, and so did I, and I believe it was actually rigged. Get a load of this one.
Check this out, guys. So at 8:39, look at this. The no votes were ahead, right? 236, 206.
Right, so no votes at 50.6 and yes votes at 49.4. All right, so the no votes were ahead of the yes votes. All right.
Within 5 minutes, look at this. There's a jump. Look at that.
How did that happen? It moved an entire 0.5% within 5 minutes.
That jump. Of over what? 60,000 votes?
Yeah, 65,000 votes managed to come in within 5 minutes. Very cool. Mail-in ballots. Totally nothing to see here. No scams. Nothing to see. Bro, even CNN is crashing out that this is retarded.
And just take a look at how this map is structured. What they do is they've taken the heavily Democratic areas in the northern area of Virginia, and they've created 5 separate districts that basically pinwheel out to go out into conservative, more rural areas, including where we are right now in the proposed 7th congressional district. It's actually interesting. We're kind of like smack dab in the middle of the district, and if you go in one direction, there's another district about 1.5 miles away. In the other direction, there's
yeah, because they turned all of these districts, these beautiful boxes, into just tentacles coming out of DC.
Another district about 2 miles away, really highlighting the shifts that are being seen right now with these proposed maps.
It's honestly insane. Yeah, even CNN losing their mind at how retarded this is. It's crazy. Now, if you thought that was bad, wait until you see what they voted on. So understand that Obama, for example, told everyone, just vote yes. Just go and you'll get the thing and you'll vote yes. And all these guys will be like, oh my God, I love Obama. He's black, so that means he hates racism. All right, and then they vote yes on all the shit. Well, look at what they voted on.
In Virginia, the race has been called. The yes votes have won out on that special referendum Democrats will use to try and attempt to rig all but one of the state's 11 congressional districts in their favor. Donald Trump got 46% of the vote. Now, the wording of this amendment, it was so corrupt, so abusively one-sided and biased, a judicial review is a certainty.
Yeah, and people are actually looking into how they can undo this. Now, a Virginia Circuit Court is actually trying to undo this entire election.
Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger celebrating the win in yesterday's redistricting vote, voters narrowly approving a new pro-Democrat congressional map in a controversial referendum that critics have slammed as a, quote, power grab. The outcome threatens the already very tight Republican House majority. Mark Meredith is live in Alexandria, Virginia, with more on this. And Mark, that vote ended up pretty narrow.
Bill, it sure did a lot narrower than some people were expecting, and Virginia voters showed up in huge numbers to determine Tuesday's redistricting referendum. This morning, Democrats are celebrating the outcome, saying they're putting a check on President Trump's power, but Republicans say this is simply proof that Virginia has lost its way. More than 3 million people cast their ballot in what you said was a narrowly defined race. However, voters chose to give the legislature power to redraw congressional maps before November's midterms.
Dude.
The new map is expected to take Republicans down from 5 congressional districts to 1. We heard from the chair of the National Republican Congressional Committee, who wrote, Democrats can't redraw reality. This close margin reinforces that.
That's exactly what they do, though. They just don't care about reality.
Virginia is a purple state that shouldn't be represented by a severe partisan gerrymander. Democrats say they felt emboldened to act after Republicans in Texas redistricted too. Governor Abigail...
Not nearly as badly as this, by the way.
Spanberger and former President Obama, they were the ones leading the effort in the Commonwealth. We heard from the former President Obama saying Republicans are trying to tilt the midterm elections in their favor, but they haven't done it yet.
It's like Republicans are trying to win elections by people voting, so we have to destroy them. We have to literally take bulldozers over their graves.
Thanks for showing us what it looks like to stand up for our democracy and fight back. So Tuesday's outcome means, yes, that Democrats have a better shot now at taking the House come November, but other states are still weighing whether to redraw their maps. As Politico points out, pressure is now growing on Florida Governor Ron DeSantis to make up for Democrats' gains with a GOP-led redistricting effort in his state as soon as next week. And while voters decided here in Virginia, there is another X factor in all this, Bill. The Virginia State Supreme Court is still deciding whether or not this will all be able to stand. There were multiple challenges to this redistricting referendum, including how the language on the ballot was written.
Yeah, because apparently the language was just impossible to actually understand. And it's brutal. It's just absolutely brutal. All right, so early in-person is 1.6% Democrats. Election day in-person was +9 GOP. And then mail-in ballots were 45% Democrat. Wow, pretty weird, huh? Pretty weird. It seems like it was rigged. It seems like, and even if it wasn't rigged, it's evil. Like, that's the best part, all right? Not only was it rigged, probably, but also this shit is insane, right? There's no reasonable way. Look at this fucking lobster. Look at this. Can you believe this? Can you believe this is an actual district? Look at that shit. Unbelievable, just unfathomable, man. But this is what the Democrats call democracy. They use their buzzwords, they make up fake terms that they could use to essentially destroy and control you, and they do it every single time. Pathological psychopaths. Zero ethics. All right, they'll use words like democracy, or like our founding fathers, or First Amendment, or Christianity, or God, or values, or family. These words are weapons to leftoids. They don't care about any of them, obviously. Donald Trump wins the election. All these people scream and yell about democracy. They're lighting cars on fire, throwing bricks at police officers. You know, they're doing their gay little anti-ICE protest, trying to stop Trump from deporting pedophiles. All right, you know, and the threat to democracy. And then they literally will just vote your democracy away wherever they fucking can. It's honestly incredible. It really is. And again, I'm saying this from their perspective. They're supposed to care about democracy, and that this is what they give us. Look, man, I'm not a fan of democracy in general. Our founding fathers built this country to be a republic, and it's not anymore. Now it's a retard state run by dipshits. Repeal the 19th immediately. What are we doing?